Hello everybody, this is Philippe from the video you're watching. This is a short video about cutting using a katana as you would use it in Aikido. As a side note, all the cut might not be true according to whichever particular Aikido school you're using or you used to practice, but fundamentally the result would be about the same. As well, I've been told that I've got a strong French accent, so the rest of the video will be narrated by an AI. So take it away, Sarah.
I have been asked what I thought of cutting as we do in aiki-ken. As far as elbow-powered cuts are concerned, the cut is quite efficient and easy to control as it takes advantage of the sword's strong points. Even with no real biomechanical support and a very conservative tip velocity, the cuts are going through the mat cleanly enough. For an efficiency point of view, I think it will go through everyday type of clothing. When the target gets a bit thicker, the cuts are not as crisp as they were in the sequence before. With more biomechanical support or more shoulder power, there would be little to no difference in the cut. If we compare that approach to longsword, we can see that, from a functional point of view, the aiki-ken cut bears some striking resemblance to the way of striking in KDF. From a tactical point of view, the aiki-ken cut, used as the first part of the third kumitachi, is not dissimilar with what KDF aims to achieve with the Zornhawk, the strike of wrath in English. So whilst from a tactical and technical standpoint aiki-ken is sound, it is not necessarily a fully fledged fencing system. This is where and when the technique can develop. Getting to that part in one piece is not necessarily easy. In some case like early rapier, as in mid-16th century, the combination of weapon and protection mostly negates the problem or at least makes it relevant only as we approach the crossing distance. In this context, it is relatively safe for me to cover the distance between the two first daggers on the floor, and like with aiki-ken we can develop attack and defense from there. Whilst context depends on how capable the weapon is against the protection we wear. How the weapon works is an important factor. In this case the hand is held too much in front of the body, which makes thrusting a viable attack or at least difficult to parry whilst keeping the point online. As well, context is informed by weapons combination and intent. Like in this case, which is mostly dueling, from early 17th century, using a 4-feet rapier and a dagger with hand protection. It is possible to end up in a similar situation when using a long sword or a katana, but it requires both parties to break the distance around the same time, which cannot be relied upon to happen every time. That being said, ideally, it is the distance we would like to start from. The problem being that long swords and katanas tip cuts, which are very efficient against cloth armor to boot, makes taking that first 2 steps opens to uncomfortable disagreement from our opposition. We just need some form of method or tactic that makes getting there less open to counter. There are several methods to circumvent that problems. Whilst one of them is getting across, the other are not in aiki-ken. Unless there is cultural context that rationalize the starting range, to be a fully fledged fencing system aiki-ken would need to expand on that topic or at least give us a reliable method to get to the cross.